Hey everyone, it's Corey. So, I know I've been kind of slacking off with videos, and I haven't actually done like a me putting on makeup video in a hot second, but I put my contacts in, so we're gonna do a get ready with me, I guess, sort of. It's literally just my like everyday look. They always look exactly the same, but this one is with like all the new products that I picked up, sort of, in that haul. I already have my eyebrows filled in. I've been going like a little bit thinner and a little bit archier. I don't know if it's like translating, but yeah, eyebrows are already filled in. For that, I just used my like normal Armani Brow Maestro in Copal, and I did like some hair strokes using the Tarte Emphasize Waterproof Amazonian Clay Brow Mousse in Rich Brown. This was like the old packaging. And yeah, so we will just get into the face part of it right now. Do you guys think this is a good look? Just like concealer, unblended, war paint? I think it is. But I don't have a new concealer, so I'm just using my one that I've been literally using every day. This is the Revlon Age-Defying. It's like discontinued in that packaging, but I think it's still available in like a clicky one now. But I don't know, I don't have many under eye issues. I say this in every single video. I just have like a little bit of darkness that I like to cover up. But that's really it. I'm just like tapping an itsy bitsy bit of that into my eyeball. And like that's it. It just like perks me up a little bit and I'm totally content with it. But to set, I'm using the Chrislie Formulations contour palette. It has two giant shades, and I'll be using this really pale yellow one. It's kind of on the sheerer side, so it's not going to give me, like, that much brightness, which I'm totally fine with. I'm using my Real Techniques setting brush. See, do you guys see? There's also a bit of kickback with this powder, so I'm just tapping off the excess, and I am just pushing this under my eyes. I'm not really, like, swiping it or anything. I'm just, like, lifting gently and pushing it right up against the lower lash line. And then when we get to, like, this area that's not directly under my eyes, I am just gonna kind of, like, swipe it down, sort of popping it up alongside the cheekbone. And I'm just kind of doing, like, a once-over, giving it, like, a little bit of a light buff, just so there's no, like, weird edges. This is the Givenchy Teint Couture Powder Foundation. I wear shade 6, Elegant Gold. This is the darkest shade that they make this product in, but it's not dark at all. Like, it's, like, my complexion, which is probably like NW35 at best. Like, this is shade 6. There's like 1 through 6. And this is really not all that dark. Like, whatever. It works for me. I'm sorry for like all my like deep skin beauties, but I don't think it's gonna work for you. So I'm just gonna kind of mix the two shades together. There's like a pale pink one and like my foundation shade. I'm using my e.l.f. Powder brush that I use for like everything. Just like a really dense buffing brush. And what I like to do is I kind of like swirl it in there and I leave like all that excess powder on it and I push it into the skin. Like I do the same thing that I do with my under eye setting powder. I just like lift it and just keep like punching my face with it. And this I just find like helps me get like the max amount of coverage that you can get out of a powder foundation. Like they're not really meant to be worn like full coverage, but I just find that it's a texture like powder that sits really well upon my skin, so I just like I like getting like the most bang for my buck, I guess, with it. So I'm just like pushing it all up in there. And this will kind of leave me a little bit like patchy with the coverage, but then I do a once-over with the buffing brush and then we're pretty much all good. So I'm just going to finish this up and I'll be right back. Usually though, I will fill in my eyebrows prior to everything, so to not like interfere with my eyebrows because this brush is like gigantic, I like to take my e.l.f. small tapered brush, which I used to use for highlighter a lot, but now I really like it for this method. I will just kind of like swirl it into the powder. And also to get into, like, the dent of my nose, I'll, like, lightly buff this into the, like, what did I call it? The armpit of my nose the other day? I don't know. But, yeah, I'm just kind of, like, buffing it right into, like, that crease of my nose. And I find that powder foundation is the only foundation that doesn't look, like, unsettled in this weird little nose area. Like, when I wore liquid foundation, I used to never actually put foundation, like, up into that little crevice, because liquid foundation would like lift out of it ever so slightly and it would look really peculiar. But I find that when I use powder foundation, I can really, like, buff it into that area, and it just, like, stays put, which I really like. And this brush just fits really well, like, between the eyebrows and everything, and, like, in the nose crack or whatever. And to do the contour, I'm taking that Chrislie Formulations one. So I'm taking this, this beautiful contour shade. Like, this is incredible. I actually find that the formula of these two powders are quite different. This one is pretty sheer and kind of, like, kick-uppy with product. And this one's, like, really creamy and really pigmented, I find. So I'm taking a Sephora finishing contour brush. It's, like, a duo fiber angled stippling brush, I guess. And I'm taking it just on the shortest part of the brush because it's kind of denser right here and like wispier on this end. So I'm just kind of pushing it right into like the denser part of it, like a couple times, tapping it off on the side. And what I do is I start right from like the back of my ear and like draw the invisible line to the corner of my mouth, but I stop it right when it gets to the corner of my eye. I like a really like localized contour right here that really makes like this part of my cheekbone like look projected from the front, and I find that if you drag it all the way down, it just gives you this really unusual like beardsy look. So yeah, so we're just starting it right back there. I'm kind of like pushing it right in with there to like lay down my initial color, and then because we didn't put any excess on the top, I find that like blending it out with the top is really useful because it's essentially like a stippling brush. And you can just see, like, I really didn't use all that much product. Oh, and blend up. Blend your contour up, because it gives you that nice lifted effect. I just find that it doesn't look right if you blend your contour down, because you get... Like, there's only so much that a contour powder can do, you know? If you're trying to completely reconstruct your face, like... Unless you're taking, like, a picture at one angle that, like, accommodates for it, it's not going to look natural. Like, you can be using the most incredible, like, gray-based contour powder that really emulates the bone structure, but if you're trying to, like... Like, this is what my friend has said, like, the more cheaty you get with your contour, like, for structures of your face that don't actually exist, no matter how skilled you are, like, they always look a little bit off for the everyday. Like, if I tried to draw a cleft into my chin, it wouldn't work. So, yeah, even though this is like the correct shade that I could do it with, I don't have a natural dip there. So if I put a shadowy line there, it would just look like I have a brown strip separating my, like separating my chin. Like, it just wouldn't look right. I'm taking it right towards the back of my jawline. I just like to tighten up, like, where my ear meets my jawline. I think that that gives me like a really like demure look if I just put it right back here. So that's really all I do with it. And there's one other area I like to contour for the most part, and it's like right in this area. It's weird, like if you ever see like drag tutorials, they'll kind of really pinch their nose very like straight down, and then they'll buff it into their crease shade almost, so it kind of does like this, like these two candy cane shapes. But I like to put the contour powder like literally all through the beginning of my eyebrow. And that, what I found that this does is it sets my brow bone a little bit more forward and brings the center of the face a little bit more projected and kind of depresses in the area right here, which also gives me the illusion of a little bit more of an arch. And it also, like, I think it makes my nose look straighter. I don't know. It's, like, probably the most subtle thing ever, but I like doing this, so whatever. Between all my steps, I just like to kind of, like, buff them in, even though, like, I blend them all out using the initial application brush. I just like to make sure that nothing looks, like, too severe, so I'll just go a once over with that big stippling brush again. I've learned I do things in a really unusual order, like, don't judge me. I'm highlighting my nose now, and I'm using the Mercier Indiscretion highlighter. It's so incredible. Like, I'm taking a little, like, paintbrush looking brush. This is the Sephora Pro Tapered Crease. And I completely stole this from Nikki Tutorials. But I'm taking it right on the top. It's, like, right where the apex of my nose is and blending it up which gives me more of an upturned nose. I am taking it right in this little area between my eyes, like right where your nose starts to slope out. I think what it's supposed to do is it's supposed to make the slope of the nose less defined, because this is like where I guess like the darkest part of your nose would be, because it's like the farthest set back, and by adding light right there you kind of project it forward, so it makes the nose like just, I don't know. What does it do? I don't know. Nikki tutorials, message me, girl. I don't know what it does. I go for a real intense inner corner highlight, so yeah. I'm using a very like precise, localized brush and just popping it right there. And guys, we are like verging into summer, and I am so highlighter happy in the summer. Like, you thought I like to look dewy in the winter. I like to look like a can of Crisco in the summer. Let me tell you. So I just highlighted the underside of my brow bone, and now I'm highlighting the top of my brow bone. This is like a little cheat that I've been doing for like forever. I take it right where like the dent, not the dent, but like the fall of my eyebrow is, and I blend it up. This just makes the arch look a little bit higher. It draws light right there, which just like brings attention to your eyes all together. And if you blend it up enough, like it kind of gives you that illusion that, I just like making my brow bone look more projected, so yeah. I'm taking another Real Technique setting brush and just kind of like pushing it into the product a little bit, tapping off the excess, and we're hitting it right on the top of the cheekbone. And I like to take my highlight in the same regard to how, like my theory with my contour, how I don't drag it past like the outer corner of my eye. I just find that I start to look like really oily if I don't just keep it at like the highest point of the cheekbone. If I start dragging it into here, this is an area where I actually get oily, so I don't want to like emphasize it when it starts. So I'm really just taking it very far back on the top of the cheekbone and just kind of like, you know, working it in, tying it, wrapping it all the way around the arch of the brow so that it kind of, from the side, it like loops all the way over, which in my mind sends the brow bone forward, because I love looking like a Neanderthal essentially with like that really projected brow bone. And I'm also taking just a little bit on the chin. Guys, I used to do this and I've learned it in one of my videos. You kind of need to like disperse your chin highlight this way, because if you disperse it this way, it looks like you kind of have like a trail of saliva coming out of your mouth. Is that cute? Like, that's so cute. I love the trail of saliva. And now the real reason why I did this video was to use this. This is the Chanel Lumiere de Teint Illuminating Powder from the new Mediterranean collection. I think it's the Summer 2015 collection. This bronzer. This bronzer is not 100% matte. I love it about it. It's like a satin finish. It's incredible. So I did like a little bit of preliminary bronzer on my forehead, like using that contour. Like I kind of dragged it a little bit more forward. But we are bronzing up this bitch. I'm sorry, language. Sephora Pro Angled Blush Brush. I had every intention of not using it for blush, so like whatever. So I'm just taking this, like, just buffing in where I did my temple contour. I'm taking it more towards the center of the face, you know? I'm also just going to hit it a little bit around the hairline. I have extremely pale hair, which is changing soon. So I don't like to bring it, like, completely into my hairline, so I'm just kind of doing, like, a little bit of a beige rainbow, keeping the center light. I'm actually using this as a blush. Like, I find in the summer, like, I don't like wearing blush. I just like buffing up my contour and tying in my highlight using bronzer. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. And this bronzer, guys, I have been waiting for this bronzer launch for like 4 months, and it did not disappoint me whatsoever. So I'm just taking it pretty much in the line of my highlight and my contour, like I'm stopping it right around here and then looping it up. So now, like, what I do is just to kind of get like this block of color, like right here to get it nice and dense, I'll swipe. But then when I want to like blend out the edge up and blend it in, I'll just kind of like press and like fizzle out the edge. And because this is kind of like a loose, it's a dense brush, but it kind of has a bit of like wiggle to it, I just find that I can really, like, disperse out my edges seamlessly. A finishing touch I really like doing is kind of, stole this from Makeup by Tiffany D, I think. Right in this area where, like, a lot of people find that little, like, line of darkness, I like to take an illuminating powder, not like a highlighter that has, like, a metallic finish, but this Givenchy powder actually has, like, a little pink strip up here, and it's, like, ever so slightly pearlescent. Like, I don't know if you can see it. It's really sheer, but it's, like, kind of pearly. And I had no idea what I was ever going to use this brush for, but it's genius for this. The pointed foundation brush by Real Techniques, it fits, oh, I'm sorry, Mirror. Gotta be a better YouTuber. I'm just taking it right in that little pink strip, tapping off the excess, and I'm just laying it flat right there. And it doesn't do much in the grand scheme of things, but from when you turn, it just lifts that shadow right away. Like, it gives, like, an optical, like, blurry effect. And I just love it so much. Like, this powder is pretty much matte, but it has, like, that little bit of, like, opalescence. This video is getting so long. Oh my god. I'm gonna put on some brow gel, some mascara, some, like, nude in my inner corner, in my inner waterline, and I'll be right back. Okay. Brow gel is on. I brush the front of them up, and then I, like, brush the tail end of them down. Benefit Roller Lash on my upper lashes. Waterproof Butterfly Intenza by L'Oreal on my lower lashes, because it, like, doesn't go anywhere. And Rimmel Scandaleyes Nude in my inner corner. Onto lips. Then we're done. Like, are you guys still there? Hello. I'm using the Vincent Longo Duo Lip Pencil in tan and chino. It looks like this. My friend Kayla, hi Kayla, she got it in this month's Boxy Charm. And she doesn't wear, like, these, like, brownie shades, and I'm all about these brownie shades. After I film this video, I'm gonna go get some bubble tea and get MAC Stone lip liner and maybe Whirl. So, yeah. So, I'm just taking this all over the mouth. Yeah. I'll be right back, because I can't speak when I do this, and yeah. First base of the lip liner is on. This is, like, really light for me, guys. Like, it's kind of strange, but I'm kind of digging it. And I didn't say that was the tan side, so that was kind of like that more, like, peachy nude color. And now I'm using the chino side, and this is like a concealer color. And I'm just taking this right in the center of the bottom lip, the center, and, like, highlighting the Cupid's bow, sort of, like, doing the little V shape in the upper lip. And I had a little bit of residual lip balm on when I applied those, so they're, like, a little bit creamy still. Otherwise, they're, like, completely matte. And I'm just kind of fizzling out the lines between the two of them. Do I look like a ghost right now, like, with this obscenely pale nude lip? I think that because I'm so bronzy, like, I can get away with it. But this is really nude. And now another gift from Kayla. This is the Lip Vex from Sigma in Hint. It's, like, this really cool, like, mauve, almost, like, gray shade. And she got this at IMATS, because I didn't go to IMATS because the tickets sold out before I could get one. Okay, so that's applied now. It's really nude, I know. But I'm, like, going about my daily endeavors, and I am rocking it, so that's all that matters. I'm taking, like, my towel that I use to clean things, and I'm just, like, blotting away some of the gloss. Just because I don't like the lip to be totally matte, but that amount of gloss that was coming off of that Lip Vex was, like, so much. Like, I was looking a little bit like Big Ange. This video is literally going to be 9 years long. Oh my god, I'm going to do my outro while I'm spraying setting spray. I'm using the Buxom Total Fixation Satin Refresh Gel Face Mist. It's new. It's in a glass packaging. And I just wanted to say thank you guys for watching and everything. I hope that you enjoyed, like, this look. It's the exact same look that I always do. I know I'm so boring. So yeah, I hope you guys have a really good day, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.